Hey everyone, welcome to the Happy Flosser podcast. My name is Billy Lunt. I am your host, and I am here to talk to you about all things dental hygiene to support you on your journey through the dental hygiene program. Welcome, so glad to have you. Hey, are you in dental hygiene school or just got your acceptance letter and just started dental hygiene school and you're worried about how you're going to fit it all in, what the evaluations are like, what the key strategies you need to set up in order to be successful? You don't want to have worked all this time to get accepted into dental hygiene school only to make some pretty major errors in your first and second semester. I've put together a course that will really help you set yourself straight right out of the gate and get yourself started on the right foot in dental hygiene school. Whether or not you're just entering school or you've done your prerequisites and you're just well on your way halfway through, this course is designed to help get you straight and keep you straight so that you can become a dental hygienist. Click the link in the show notes and check it out. I'd like to share a little story with you guys. I was a senior dental hygiene student and it was December. Sound familiar? Maybe you are a senior dental hygiene student. Maybe you're a freshman dental hygiene student. But I am doing this recording in December. And I was weeks away from the end of the semester. I could see the finish line in sight. I knew I was going to have a break. I was going to have some time to rest, to recover. I looked terrible. I felt terrible. I hadn't been exercising. I wasn't eating right. My hair looked terrible. I just was, well, I was a senior dental hygiene student, right? Just trying to get through dental hygiene school. I was a hot mess. And it was really hard to get through that semester. I didn't feel like I could remember the why behind why I wanted to put myself through dental hygiene school. I had kind of lost sight of everything. I was literally just putting one foot in front of the other, and I had no joy. I got through the semester. I finished my final exams. I finished strong. And the next day, my boyfriend and I decided to go to friend's house to say, all right, let's celebrate. You got through the semester, and we were playing a board game or something, or Pictionary. And I ended up not feeling very well. And to make a long story short, I ended up having a really severe gallbladder attack to the point where I needed to go to the hospital and have emergency surgery to have my gallbladder out. And come to find out, this was a chronic problem that had been going on that I was ignoring and just thinking that all of my fatigue and ill-feeling health was related to dental hygiene school. But I had grit and I was determined that I was going to make it through the semester strong. So this episode is really all about your story. When I reread my self-reflection journals from my fall semester of my senior year, I didn't know that I was sick, that I had a problem going on. I was worried about my time management. I was worried about my clinical skills. I was worried about my academics. I had zero cares about my own well-being because I was literally just trying to get through dental hygiene school. And the fall semester of your senior year is typically one of your heavier, rigorous loads. And it wasn't until I did some self-reflection on my self-reflections that I discovered that I was really not paying attention to everything well. I was really just focused on one thing, and that was just getting through the program. I had all the joy kind of sucked out of my life. But I will say that is an example of really the mechanisms of what makes life so great. Usually, just before something really great happens or you're trying to achieve your goals, you come against the wall of resistance. And I would say, if I reflect back on everything good that's ever happened to me in my life, there's always challenges and resistance that comes before I achieve those amazing goals. And dental hygiene school proved to be no different for me. I had to have that really serious obstacle of spending my Christmas break recovering from severe acute gallbladder surgery, right? So let's just say I didn't come back into my spring semester fully recharged and recovered. My idea of a good Christmas break would be to sleep in every day, to not do one thing related to dental hygiene. Maybe even not floss a day. I don't know. I was just ready to rest, you know? But instead I spent that time being forced to rest, being forced to recover. And when things like that happen, it really forces you to self reflect and think about some of the reasons why things happen in your life. It's really to help get you to slow down and really think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So that's what this episode is all about. It's really about what is your story? Do some self reflection. Think about how much you've grown. Really remember what your why is. What has helped you pursue this journey? And what kind of resistance has come up against you? So that's what we're talking about today. So your semester is winding down. You're crossing the threshold. You can almost see the finish line to the semester. And I bet you're feeling quite worn out. I say that because that's kind of how I'm feeling. I put in 100% through the semester. When I get to this time of year, it's time for me to rejuvenate, to relax, to recover. And speaking of those R's, it's also time for me to do some self reflection. The last thing I want to do is give you an assignment to do over your break, but I promise you this one will be really beneficial to you. We require you to do self reflection through your clinical courses each semester because we know the impact and why it's so important for you to do self reflection. We know that it will help you see maybe some of the obstacles that have been in your way that have inhibited your growth, or maybe some of the challenges that you faced and figured out how to navigate and overcome. Through self reflection, you can actually discover some of your own self limitations or maybe some of your perspectives from a different lens. And you'll be able to grow and improve a lot faster by developing those deep critical thinking skills through self reflection. This is a really short episode this week. I know a lot of you are trying to get into the final exam mode where you're studying for your final exams. One of the things I wanted to tell you was to really think about the benefits and value of self reflection. At the end of every semester, I do some self reflection and I journal about my semester. What were some of the obstacles that I faced? What were some of the challenges that I overcame? Maybe I put together a lesson plan for a group of students and it just didn't go well. What can I change next time I do that lesson plan so that it benefits the students? From your perspective, what happened with you, right? What were you prepared for things? Did you over prepare for something and then it ended up being no big deal? Did you overly stress about something? What would you say to the student you were at the beginning of the semester? What was something that you learned this semester that truly surprised you, that just blew you away, that you just had no idea was going to happen to you through this semester in your dental hygiene journey? What was something that you discovered worked well? What was something that you came in and you took that approach and just totally fell flat, right? Because dental hygiene school is different than any other program. And maybe you've already got a degree in another field, and some of the strategies that you use to be successful in that field just didn't work for you. Think about some of those things because I assure you, you are not the same person that you were when you started the program. You are growing, and self reflection will help you grow even more and add some depth to that growth. And even more important, add some speed to that growth. It's not all about having a sturdy fulcrum. It's more about having depth of personality, integrity, perseverance, resilience, and get rid of the fear, self doubt, and all of the things that we tend to kick down the road and delay. I don't know why we do that as humans. Maybe we'll have to look deeper into that in a future episode. I don't know. But sometimes we create our own stresses and we stress ourselves out unnecessarily. So think about all of these things as you're wrapping up your semester. so that you can come back in the spring fully charged and ready to go and learn something through your own thought process, through your own words that will really help you improve your skills as a clinician, improve your abilities as a student, but more importantly, just make you a better human. On my homepage of the podcast, you can actually click to send me a message. I would encourage you to share with me a voice recording of something that you really were surprised about or discovered this semester. I would love to compile a short recording of all different student perspectives of things that have really benefited them, or maybe some of the challenges that they had in their first semester or second or third, wherever you are, and how you were able to overcome it. Think about what you would say to a student that's just starting the program and how your information would benefit them. Hey, listen, do this, don't do this. Try this, it works. Listen to this, don't do this, how about this? Some of the stuff that you could share is so valuable to the next person in line, but even more valuable to yourself. I can't even tell you how beneficial that would be. I would so love to just have a whole group of students who just say to the next group, hey guys, in my own words, this is what I'm going to tell you. I would encourage you to send me just a short recording of your desires and outcomes from this semester and what your self-reflection has revealed, what you've discovered, and how you're going to move forward stronger and even better than you were before. This is where the growth happens, guys. This is where the magic happens, because you do not graduate dental hygiene school the same person that came into the program. It's impossible. It's such a journey. And I know I told you this at your orientation on your first day, that you have to have a really strong why so that you can figure out, okay, this is my why, right? I want to be a hygienist because sometimes you're going to need to lean on that why in order to get through the tough stuff. The expression is, we go through the valley. We are never meant to stay in the valley. And there are peaks and valleys and twists and turns on our journey. Embrace those things. That's where you're learning the most. When things are challenging, this is where we have to dig our heels in so that we can show what we're made of. And we are made of a lot of things. I promise you, take some time for yourself. Take some time to rest and recover. I know I did an end of semester recharge and reboot episode. You can feel free to go back and listen to that one. This one is just a gentle reminder of just how important it is to write the story of your life down. Do some self-reflecting and really reflect on your experience through this semester. My journal that I write every semester, I can reflect back on that and I can see just from my own thoughts how much growth I've had just since I've been a professor. It is truly a tangible, remarkable story of your life that just unfolds a little bit at a time. And little by little, a little becomes a lot. That's a Sean Croxton expression, and I just absolutely live by that every day. Everything happens one step at a time. So what steps have you taken? And maybe sometimes we're tripping. Sometimes we're falling down. Sometimes, though, we get ourselves in a good pace and we're jogging. Share your story. I'd love to hear it, but take some time to do some reflection. You guys have an awesome week. I would invite you to ask any questions at all that you need answered. Sometimes questions come up when you're listening to this podcast. If you have a question, most likely someone else has the very same question. I'd be happy to answer it and would probably share it in a future podcast.